Moby-Dick, or also known as the whale. Woo! Let's get started. Alright! So this book, Moby-Dick, we're only discussing the summary from chapters 1 to chapter 35. And that is everything we're going to discuss in a short 6 to 7 minute period. So let's get started. One thing about Moby-Dick is that it's just as awesome as I could have thought of, and how well it has been doing itself. How long it's been doing, I'm not even sure. Herman Melville definitely did a lot that could have been great. And let's just talk about his great classic, Moby-Dick, from chapter 1 to 35. In chapter 1, it starts with these lines. Call me Ishmael! I know, it's enough to shake a person, doesn't it? Now, Ishmael is the name of a person from biblical stories, from the Bible, hence the name biblical. So then, there is other things that I could talk about, but since today we're only talking about a summary, let's just get on with it. Cheers ahoy, Mysterios! Cheers! Alright. After the Call Me Ishmael, he talks about his life and why he wants to do all this. We find out that he is a sailor and that he just wants to see the whaling industry and just a way to get escaping from his actual soul and stuff. And this is the main reason, the whaling industry is the main reason why whales aren't here that much today. It is because of these guys. It is because of these guys that this whale and its own little species almost doesn't exist at all. It is because of them that the whale, one of the largest species on Earth, seem to almost not exist at all anymore. It's like they don't exist anymore. Also, some of them are still there around the globe. Some of them are still around the globe. It's just that there are not that many ain't there anymore. Only like in certain parts of the world. And back then it was like everywhere that had an ocean. Where all these dots are. Nowadays it's like very endangered. He just wanted to see how well this is, and Herman Melville did a good job into synthesizing the whale's own little personalities and the whale's own little tragic stories and their stories of the cousins who have been killed always. So what did he do? He wrote a book about it, and let's just continue the summary. He ends up at an inn. Ishmael ends up at an inn where he gets befriended by the innkeeper, who tells him that there aren't any rooms left, so that he'll have to share a room with someone else, a whaler called Queequeg. At least they didn't call him Queequeg then. They didn't even know his name until then. So what did they do? They just let them have the room, and Ishmael just left Ishmael to find out for himself. And what did Ishmael do? Sleep. And once he woke up, which was like a few hours later, Queequeg arrived, and he was about to kill Ishmael. And then just joked that it was a little joke that Queequeg wouldn't hurt a little hair on Ishmael. And then they slept together and did some very inappropriate things. Come on, guys, it was cold. After that, they did a little bit of a marriage ceremony where they became bosom friends. Basically, they would die for each other if necessary. And so what then? Well, Ishmael originally came here because he called the sea his Yale and his Harvard. And while I throw these university pillows back to the couch, Miss, ta-da! There is so much to talk more about these guys. Then they found out about a ship called the Pickwood with a captain called Ahab who had his leg severed. We don't know why yet. It was just some wooden peg, as long as they knew. It was just a peg. It wasn't even made of wood. At least they didn't know that. And they found jobs on there. And then they were certain that the Pickwood was going to sail tomorrow morning, and that the announcement for that will come tomorrow, which is the next chapter. And that is basically how chapter 35 ended. And so while there is a Yale and a Harvard there's so much more to talk about. But we'll have to save that for our next story. So until then, shine out. Peace.